India is growing and its urban population is set to double. The United Nations forecasts there will be 814 million citizens by 2050. In response to the growing demand, the country's construction sector is simultaneously expected to grow, but with it will grow its carbon emissions. Not only is the construction sector extremely resource intensive, it also generates about 1/6 of all carbon emissions in the country. World over, developing sustainable construction materials, whether from renewable resources or from recycled waste, has shown remarkable results. Utilizing agricultural or industrial waste to create building materials not just reduces dependency on natural resources, but also helps solve a major part of the waste crisis. Dr. J.S. Sudarshan has been researching green materials in India's building sector. When it comes to developing waste into construction materials, however, India still has a long way to go, he tells us.
When we talk about the utilization of industrial waste in different construction, developing different construction material and green material, so we have not reached it to the maximum level. Still we are at the middle level because many of the material which is still discarded and it is reaching the landfill. So that is one of the reason in many cities, in many towns, the landfill, managing the landfill is a big task and it is a laborious activity to the corporation and municipalities.
India generates close to 8 million tons of hazardous industrial waste annually. Of this, 42% goes directly to landfills and another 7% to incinerators. In theory, about 50% of this waste is actually recyclable, but that does not always happen. Much of the waste, in fact, is dumped illegally on fertile land, rendering it useless.
So the pollution control boards across the country have these laws where only certified people can lift this waste, and there will be given specific locations where it has to end up. So you pick it up from point A and it has to go to point B. But in this what happens is that a lot of times people find a way where they'll pick up the waste, they'll dump it in their particular area wherever they want to. It could be agricultural land, it could be any kind of a space. And then from there again they'll pick it up and throw it into the landfill. So this waste does end up in landfills, but there are these pit stops in the middle which need to be taken care of, which then erodes the use of good quality soil. Secondly,
Alok Kale is the founder of Pune-based company Magnus Ventures. A Griha-certified green construction material manufacturer, the company repurposes sand that has been discarded by foundries as construction raw material. Foundries are typically factories that make metal castings and rely heavily on sand. This sand, once used, is either taken to the landfills or dumped in the open, causing even more ecological damage.
What I realized is that there is about more than 15 lakh metric tons of sand that gets dumped into landfills on a yearly basis only in India. And this hit me that, you've done engineering, you've done good business, you have good business education. Let's try and find an intelligent solution to this, other than it just going into landfills and good agricultural land going for waste.
13 years of trial and error in R&D led Alok to where he is now. The company has patented a technique to process used sand to make products like tile adhesives and plaster mixes for walls, applications generally required in large quantities in construction.
Today, because of this, something that would have ended up in a landfill, today we are actually putting it to use where it would be used for decades together. By that I mean for however long that building or house stands with our products, that product will be in use over there. So we've extended the life of this particular sand that would normally go into landfills.
Sand happens to be the second most used commodity in the world after water, a staple in construction. This demand has led to reserve depletion of unbelievable proportions. UNEP puts the number at 1 million truckfuls of sand being extracted every single day. This extent of marine sand extraction is not just bound to cause more erosion and floods, but will also affect coastal ecosystems and water quality. Back in Pune, Alok's tile adhesives and plaster mix have already found takers. There seems to be a growing awareness among large players in the construction sector about the need to go green, he tells us. Pune-based Goel Ganga Group is one such. The group is currently working with Magnus Ventures on 7 projects with 8 more in the pipeline.
ये बाई प्रोडक्ट है, ये कोई वेस्टेज नहीं है और जो नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट है उसको अगर मल्टीपल इस्तेमाल रिसाइकल इस्तेमाल हम लोग करेंगे तो इको फ्रेंडली सिस्टम के लिए अपने अच्छी बात है. तो हर एक ने ये नज़रिया रखना चाहिए कि ये वेस्टेज नहीं है, बाई प्रोडक्ट है और उसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए.
At this construction site in Bengaluru, what we see is an attempt to green another aspect in construction. WoWMaterials, a sustainable construction material company, has been using multi-layered plastic to create shuttering. Used commonly in construction as a temporary mold for concrete. This plastic is an alternative to currently used plywood and, according to founder Niveda, is cost-effective, recyclable and more than twice as sturdy.
We did a study and we analyzed that if all of construction industry can start using recycled plastic sheets for just shuttering as an application, which I mentioned about, roughly 25 to 30% of all the non-recyclable plastics that you and I generate can get prevented from entering the atmosphere, can get prevented from entering the landfills. That's a massive number.
Multi-layered plastic, or MLP, is one of the lowest graded plastics in circulation because of how hard it is to break down. The costs of collecting and processing MLP is in fact higher than what one would earn from selling the recovered plastic, which is why almost all MLP ends in landfills. Using WOW's shuttering in a single large construction project potentially saves 40 tons of plastic or 4 million plastic bags from going to landfills, the company estimates. For clients of the company, however, more than the green credentials, it is the ease of use and value for money that matters the most.
For this number of reputations are more if you compare with the plywood. The plywood generally we 10 to 12 reputations are there, whereas this material I have already used 21 reputation now. I think I can use further another 20 reputation also I can make it of use. So that is the best material I can say. And even for usage, even that surface finishing also I am getting very nice. So rather, if you compare with the plywood shuttering, okay. And even for the de-setting agent, that what you are applying, that oil and all, that may not required for this. This is a smooth surface, so it is easy to remove it.
Using green materials in construction is not yet mandated in India, but it does help homeowners eventually get breaks of up to 20% on property tax. This also makes sales easier for builders. But while large construction companies might be on the lookout for more options in the market, innovation in this space is still limited in India. Alok's company currently exports around 150 tons of products across Maharashtra every day. But before a product reaches the customer, it changes several hands. What helps is knowing that everyone involved in handling a green product is safe.
जब मैंने ये मटेरियल काम में लिया तो इसमें पहला काम तो इसमें डस्ट नहीं निकलता, दूसरा इसकी क्वालिटी अच्छी है.
Contractors who apply these products care little about it being good for the environment. They do care, however, if it has the potential to make their lives less difficult. As Samvarmal Kumawat, a marble and tile fitting contractor, tells us, for Magnus, this has been a key win.
अभी बिल्डिंग में अगर ये मटेरियल सभी मशीनों से यूज में ले रहे हैं तो इसमें डस्ट तो निकलेगा नहीं और इससे लेबर सुरक्षित रहेगी. अगर 10 आदमी एक जगह काम कर रहे हैं और 10 आदमी 5 जगह केमिकल बनाएंगे तो वो डस्ट उसका फ़ायदा होगा ना, उससे लेबर के पेट में नहीं जाएगा ना श्वास के साथ।
Commercial viability and performance are fair expectations in the sector. But players in the market now admit to a growing customer base that is slowly opening up to green products when explained their pros and cons. Kavish Bafna markets products for his family business of marbles and granites. He has also started stocking products from Magnus Ventures.
कस्टमर का फर्स्ट पॉइंट रहता है कि थोड़ा प्राइसिंग का रहता है उनको। सेकंड जब रहता है प्राइसिंग अगर मैच होता है तब देन इसका फीचर्स पूछते हैं। तो फीचर्स में हम लोग अभी सस्टेनेबिलिटी, इको फ्रेंडली और जो रिड्यूस वेस्ट और रिसाइकल का है उसके तौर पे हम लोग मार्केट करके प्रोडक्ट पुश कर रहे हैं। अगर अपन उनको बताए तो वो डेफिनेटली जो ग्रीन प्रोडक्ट है उसके पास ही जाते हैं। जैसे अपन डायनेमिक्स देख रहे हैं आफ्टर कोविड, काफ़ी डायनेमिक्स चेंज आया है। सस्टेनेबिलिटी, इको फ्रेंडली, रिड्यूस, रीयूज़ एंड वेस्ट इस केस में। जैसे अपना आप गोडाउन देख सकते हैं, हमने भी रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग, सोलार का सब हमने भी चालू किया। तो उसके वजह से भी कस्टमर को काफ़ी एक ट्रस्ट भी बिल्ड हुआ है और काफ़ी उनको ऐसा रहा कि हम जहाँ से ले रहे हैं हम भी एक एनवायरनमेंट को कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं।
Currently, however, only a fraction of industries in the country are trying to find solutions to efficient waste disposal or resource optimization. And despite claims, recycling and reuse is nowhere close to the scale that is needed.
So still many industrial process, many industrial sector, many industrial utility, they are following only the linear economy concept. The linear economy needs to be changed into a circular economy in all the industries. Then automatically we can try to overcome many problems. The resource depletion also can be reduced. Many benefits we will get. So that is one of the important things.
Niveda points out how companies like theirs that work within the waste to wealth sector have to work doubly hard to convince prospective clients. This especially in a country like India, where anything made from waste is in fact expected to be available at a lower market rate. Not only will this need a radical mindset shift, but also ample support from the government.
Now that is where we think that there needs to be policies that support such innovation, such technologies that are trying their level best to make it happen. See, now with all the R&D, with all the effort, we were able to provide this material at a cost which is comparable to the conventional material that our customers were buying. So there was not a big decision-making challenge that they faced. However, what will make it more lucrative, and a lot of clients ask, don't you get subsidies for this? Don't you have tax benefits for this? Because you're doing something that's actually good. Why are you paying the same GST or the tax that, say, a plywood pays after cutting a tree, while you are actually saving the plastic that goes into the landfill and gets burnt? Now, this is the question we don't have answer for. And this is where we need policies that come and support such products, such green products when it enters the industry.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.